It was a cold winter night. The streets were empty, and the thick fog covered everything. Ali stood at the bus stop, rubbing his hands together for warmth. He had stayed late at work and missed his usual bus. Now, he had no choice but to wait for her. The last bus of the night, asterisk, the bus stop was eerily silent. The streetlights flickered as if struggling to stay on. Ali checked his watch. 11:45 p.m. The last bus was supposed to arrive at midnight. He looked around. There was no one else waiting. A strange feeling settled in his chest, but he shook it off. Asterisk, at exactly midnight, the bus arrived. It was an old, rusty vehicle, its headlights barely cutting through the fog. The doors creaked open, and Ali hesitated before stepping inside. The bus was empty except for the driver, an old man with deep wrinkles and hollow eyes. He gave Ali a strange look but said nothing. Asterisk, Ali took a seat in the middle of the bus. The doors closed with a loud thud, and the bus began to move. The silence. Inside was unsettling. The only sound was the soft hum of the engine. Ali pulled out his phone to check messages, but there was no signal. Asterisk, a few minutes later, Ali noticed something odd. The city streets were missing. Instead of passing familiar shops and houses, the bus was moving through a dark, endless road. There were no streetlights, no buildings, just an empty highway surrounded by dense fog. Asterisk. Excuse me. Driver, Ali called out. Where are we going? Asterisk, the driver didn't respond. He kept staring ahead, gripping the wheel tightly. Asterisk, Ali's heartbeat quickened. Something was wrong. He turned to look at the back of the bus. His breath caught in his throat. There was a passenger sitting in the last row, but the bus had been empty when he got on. The passenger was a woman wearing a red shawl. Her head was slightly tilted, and her long black hair covered most of her face. She sat perfectly still, as if she hadn't noticed Ali. Asterisk, Ali swallowed hard. Excuse me, he said hesitantly. Do you know where this bus is going? Asterisk, the woman didn't move. She didn't even blink. Asterisk, Ali's hands felt cold. He turned back to the front. Driver, stop the bus. I want to get off. Asterisk, the driver remained silent. The road outside seemed endless. Asterisk, then, out of the corner of his eye, Ali saw something that made his blood run cold. The woman in the red shawl was now sitting 3 rows closer to him, but he hadn't seen her move. Ali gripped his seat. His breathing became shallow. He didn't want to look at her again, but he could feel her presence getting closer. Asterisk, the bus lights flickered. The air inside felt heavy, like the walls were closing in. Asterisk, suddenly, the woman whispered, You shouldn't have taken this bus. Asterisk, Ali's head snapped toward her. She was now in the seat directly behind him. Her pale lips barely moved as she spoke. Asterisk, his voice trembled. What do you mean? Asterisk, she slowly lifted her face. Her eyes were hollow, completely black. A twisted smile spread across her face. This bus is not for the living. Asterisk, Ali's heart pounded in his chest. He jumped out of his seat and ran to the driver. Stop the bus. Let me out. Asterisk, the driver finally turned his head. Ali gasped. The man's face was decayed, his skin peeling off like dried leaves. His eyes were nothing but dark, empty sockets. Asterisk, you can't leave, the driver rasped. You're already dead. Asterisk, Ali stumbled back, his mind racing. No, I just got on this bus. Asterisk, the woman in the red shawl let out a low laugh. Didn't you hear the news? She whispered. A man died tonight, hit by a speeding bus. Asterisk, Ali's body went cold. Memories flooded his mind. He had been running to catch the bus. Bright headlights had blinded him. Then a sharp pain. Asterisk, he looked down at his hands. They were fading, turning transparent. His body was disappearing. Asterisk, the bus slowed down. The doors creaked open, revealing a dark, endless void outside. The driver turned to him, grinning with rotten teeth. Asterisk, this is your stop. Ali screamed as the darkness swallowed him whole. The next morning, the city news reported a tragic accident. A man named Ali had died at midnight, hit by the last bus of the night. Asterisk, but the strange thing was, no one had seen that bus. Because it had disappeared years ago after crashing on the same road. Asterisk, and sometimes, when the fog is thick, people still see it. A ghostly bus carrying lost souls to their final destination.